What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the RXP podcast, the podcast where four usually, but now today we have three working professionals talk all about their love for movies, TV shows, and video games. But today we're only really caring about movies. Like, this is the movie podcast of the year. If you've been following along at home, we had our top experiences outside of video games and movies. Then we just posted a top experiences for video games, and then we're just finishing off with our top experiences in the theater today. But today, my name's Matt, and I'm joined by Tiffany.
Hello. Excited to talk about the movies.
Damn movies, and Yasser.
Is it the first time that we've done this?
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is exciting.
We've always done video games and then
Right.
a catch-all for everything else. But this year, oh man, there's just too many movies. It would just basically be movies for the other section, and then we would never talk about books, and then
honestly, even having it split out, this is going to be impossible. I don't know about you.
I know, because we're talking our top three, and I had such a hard time to nail it down to three. How about you guys?
So Matt is a Letterboxd follower, and so Matt, I need to thank you for convincing me to get on that Letterboxd. I think I've been on it now for a little over 2 years, and you know what? I was like, why hadn't I done this before? Because I love rating books on Goodreads. I also should enjoy rating movies. And because of Letterboxd, I was able to go back and just get a list of the 5-star movies that I had this year. And it was so easy to find them. Yeah. And then ranking them was a little bit different story, but that really helped me out. So it wasn't too bad of a chore for this.
Yeah, shout out Letterboxd.
It sounds like you rank them at the end. Yeah, so do you rank them as you go, or do you, similar to Tiffany, you just rank them all at the end?
So I don't really keep track throughout the year, mainly because realistically, I don't rank them in general. Like basically, even when I think of something like a 5-star, it's really hard to compare it with another 5-star to me. So what I did was just go through my movies right before this pod and really get a good sense of like which ones were the 5 stars that stood out for me, or like the 4.5s, and then from there really think about like which ones stood out the most and which ones do I want to talk about the most, because there's no way that I'm going to know like definitively these are my 3 favorites, because there's so many great movies this year. It was a really difficult chore for me.
How many movies have you guys seen this year? Yasser, how many have you seen?
That's a good question. Can you come back to me?
Yeah. Tiffany, do you know offhand how many you've seen?
Should I count like rewatches?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I have to.
Well, I've watched for this year I've watched 188 movies, but then with rewatches I'm at 193. Basically, like when I've watched it more than once in 1 year, but 193 movies or times I've sat down to watch a movie. And so with that, I am struggling because we've seen some really good movies, a lot of really good movies that came out this year, but also a lot of good movies I've never seen before that I watched this year that were basically took over my 5 stars. I think out of my 5 stars, only 3 of them actually came out this year. The other 6 of them were from the past.
Yeah, mine is pretty similar too. Obviously, your N is definitely higher. I think it's going to be higher than all of ours, obviously. But this was a big year for me. I had 46 movies watched, and 9 of them were rewatches. And so we're looking at around 37-ish first-time watches.
Okay, sweet.
I watched 28 movies this year with a handful of rewatches in there.
Perfect. Yeah, that's excellent. That's like a sweet spot. Listen, as you can see, I've got like a week left, and I have probably like 10 more movies to go to reach my goal. So my goal of like 200 movies in a year, I'm right there. I'll for sure get it.
Was that your goal for this year?
So Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it was one of them. It was
Okay.
200, but it was
I
also
forgot what
like
the number
You like
was.
incremented them
it was
out,
mix and
right? Yeah, like
matched.
50 of this and 50 of that or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
gosh.
problem is I've seen over 50 2025 movies. And so even though my total is high, like I'm going to still have to do, I think rewatches are going to be my big thing that I'm going to have to like catch up on. But like, being around, Christmas and the holidays, this is like prime rewatch time,
That's true.
Pop on Elf, that counts. That's fine. All right. Without further ado, we've been riffing enough. Let's get right into it. So we've got 3 to talk about. We'll have some honorable mentions, and then the ghost of Alex will give some honorable mentions.
Yep.
Since he couldn't join us tonight. Anybody want to start off?
I do.
I guess we could have. Ooh, Tiffany,
Oh,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
You saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so a little bit of background. I went through and I found the 5 movies that were all 5-star. And then from there, I just ranked them with my vibes and my heart. And I realized one theme. After I picked my top 3, I realized a theme. I'm going to explain that at the end after announcing, movie number 1. But my number 3 movie this year that I really thoroughly enjoyed, and it came out later in the year, is Zootopia 2.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yes.
Zootopia. Okay.
Yes, Zootopia 2. I did a rewatch of Zootopia 1, and then I, went to the theater and saw Zootopia 2. And just because of the music is great, the animation is wonderful, the storytelling is just really masterful. They're hiding a lot of adult themes in a child's movie. Like, if you recall, Zootopia 1 was sort of like, I guess, prejudice and like cops versus people and like all that, stigma and stuff. This movie, I guess, was a little bit more of like literally like racism and colonialism. And
Oh, okay.
it was a wild. I did not expect the plot that came from it. I think a little bit of background is that it takes place almost very recently after Zootopia 1. So you're kind of just like really getting into it. I mean, it might be a week, it might be a month or so.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
Nick and Judy are on the police force and they're partners and they're learning how to be effective, work partners. And there's a drama of the fact that if you guys never noticed, because I didn't notice in the first Zootopia movie, there are no reptiles in Zootopia.
I did not notice that.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't
There
notice
are
that.
no reptiles in any of the biomes, because they're kind of broken up into like a tundra, a desert, a rainforest, and like city center or whatever. No reptiles. And you come to find out the plot of this movie is that reptiles were deemed to be too dangerous to be co-citizens with the rest of Zootopians. And so you kind of just like go through this journey of like unpacking that. You have a blue poisonous pit viper that is voiced by Ki Kwe Kwan, who is wonderful. And essentially he's misunderstood and you start seeing his journey. And that's the plot of Zootopia 2. And I loved it. I just absolutely love it. And I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, I don't think it's in theaters anymore. Wait for it to get on Disney Plus, but get on it. It's really good. That's my number 3.
Who'd you see it with?
I actually saw it. Alex saw it. And I saw it with my best friend and her aunts, actually. Kind of like Disney folks. I went to the theater with Disney folks. Shout out. The
Nice.
theater experience gave out a Disney trading card exclusive with it.
Oh,
So,
Ooh,
yeah, I went to a
they know their audience.
Yeah, I went to a Cinemark
They
theater
know
and
Tiffany
they had
for sure.
they had a specific promo card for Lorcana, so I got a bunch of those because
Oh
I went
my
with
gosh.
4 other people, so I have
Okay.
5 copies of that card.
That's how you're able to get Alex there, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I thought that was neat. The experience. I love getting that trading card and experience. When Detective Pikachu came out, there was
Oh,
that
yeah.
like special Pikachu card or whatever. So, I mean, that's fun.
I love that free swag.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely I will watch Zootopia 2 at some point. It was still at I went to the theater today, and it was still there. So
Oh wow.
I guess I could still actually go watch it. We recently just watched Zootopia 1 for Maddie's first time.
Okay.
I've seen it plenty of times before. It still holds up. Like
Yes.
that
Yeah.
movie is just so good.
So good.
Like once they get the Godfather mice
Yes.
out, like oh my gosh, I just loved it.
Yep.
I absolutely loved it. I was laughing the entire time.
Yeah. And they still got
Does
some
it
good
still, like,
puns.
The cool thing about it is like it very much has like you don't need to be like some scholar to figure out what they're
Themes
trying to
are.
like shove.
Yes.
You know, like what message.
Yes.
But it doesn't like take itself too self-serious, and it's always like very fun on top of it. Is it keep up with that?
Yes.
Because it sounds pretty heavy, but it also like I would expect it to be just as entertaining as the first
No,
one.
just as entertaining. You kind of have to like, you're just like, oh wow, like this snake used to live here and now he doesn't. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So that's where kind of like the colonialism stuff comes in a little bit, but like they're not like harping it that much. It's sort of just like he's like, I'm just trying to find a place to belong, you know? And then
Classic.
Ed Sheeran's involved with the song with Shakira in this one, so that's really good. And like
Wow.
all the puns are still there and jokes, like
Love it.
there's a pig that gets like essentially knocked into, and he just yells out like, "What the pork?" Like it's just funny. It's a good old time.
I hope Flash is back from the DMV.
Yes.
That guy was great.
He's great. I absolutely agree with that.
Love him.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like one of the highest grossing movies of the year, no?
Yeah.
Or was it the highest grossing?
Did it get a
potentially?
Billy?
I
was
think
that?
it did get a Billy.
Oh. What's a Billy?
A billion.
Oh,
like
a billion. Oh, okay.
Sorry, man. Get with it, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Minecraft movie came out this year, right? Like
It did.
there's a couple billion movies, but James Cameron is like probably not going to get Billy, but Zootopia 2 will.
So far, it looks like it's the number 2 highest grossing worldwide at
Okay,
1.2 billion.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
That's
impressive.
because it just came out.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think you can rent it like digitally.
yeah.
So those are before digital sales.
Yes.
And this is not like something I would expect to be like going at IMAX.
Right.
No,
That is crazy.
that is wild.
Well, good for them. I definitely will check it out. Yasser, do you want to go?
You go first.
Okay. Okay. So I have been trying to do some rewatches. Was unsuccessful to really rewatch a lot of my favorite movies from this year. But I found a movie early this year, much earlier than maybe anything else that we're talking about. Like this was earlier, like March-ish, at least for me. So one of the earliest hits or earliest 5 stars on my letterbox that I ran into this year, something that came out, I believe it maybe came out in 2023, but I think it hit theaters in 2024. So I was really just catching up from the past couple years. But something that I really wanted to rewatch, and I'll probably rewatch this next week because I have a striking suspicion that this might make it to the top of my list this year. But because I didn't actually go to rewatch it, it is going to come in at number 3, and I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Because it is Perfect Days by Wim Wenders that I have talked about before. I've talked about it, I think, to maybe each of you individually. I know I've talked to a lot of people at work about it, and it's the hardest movie to ever sell because it is the movie where basically this guy cleans toilets for a living. And
Oh, yeah, I remember
yeah,
this now. Yeah.
you
Yes.
remember me talking about this?
Yes.
It is one of those movies, though, that ever since I've seen it, it has
Yeah.
changed my thought process. I have thought about this movie probably more
Wow.
than any other movie this entire year.
That's a
And
big
so
deal.
it's one of those movies where Criterion was, 50% off for 4K Blu-rays, and I've been thinking about getting into physical media. And the one movie that I was thinking to get first was this movie. And I think that just like is a testament to what I feel about it. It's a super simple story, but basically it just boils down to being present in the moment, enjoying the little things, not having an overcomplicated life, and like taking that break, looking around, not being like dialed into your phone, not being dialed into petty things, just living in the moment. And it's something that I can't wait to rewatch towards the end of this year, because I feel like going into the new year, this is one of those movies where that's kind of the mindset I want going into 2026. Is I'm always going to get busier, but taking the moment for myself and like generating my own peace is something that I feel like I take for granted all the time. But definitely check it out. It is like Maddie kind of fell asleep towards the end of it, because it is there's not as much dialogue.
Sure.
So if it's super late and you're not feeling it, don't push it, don't rush it. But I could not recommend it enough. It's a great movie.
I love that. I love a movie that like makes you introspective after you watch it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is fantastic. And the actor, he's a very famous Japanese actor. He was in a couple movies that I've seen this year. I think he was in he's in Cure, which I've never seen, but he was also in a movie that I watched, Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh yeah.
He was in that movie as well. So like he's definitely more of a Hollywood Japanese actor, but he is fantastic. Some of I will just say the final shot of this film is if we were giving like shot of the year, it would be that scene. It is literally him driving and just his face, just reacting to the days that have transpired. And it is just powerful stuff. Even if you don't watch that movie, just go look up some spoilers and watch that scene, because that scene is incredible.
Okay.
Well, now I need to watch it very soon, so I'll keep you updated on that.
Perfect.
Now tell us, Yasser, what's your
All
number
right.
3?
Is it my turn?
Yes.
He's like, can you go again?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we go? Can you guys
No.
do number 2 next?
No.
All right. I'm gonna go with something that I think was just the most memorable for me, and it is
Okay.
not going to be a movie that came out this year. Number 1,
Perfect.
and number 2, it's not going to be one movie. It's going to be 2.
Oh,
But hear
he's
me
going
out. Hear me out.
genres now.
No, it's not
JRPG
that.
time.
Yeah.
Let's
You'll
go.
understand when you hear it. But this year I finally, after it was on my watch list for the longest time, watched the Dune movies, the 2
Got
movies
it.
that just released
Ooh,
recently.
let's go.
Okay, yes.
And to me, when I watched these, so not only did I watch them back to back on back to back days in March, but to me, like when I think about these movies, I think of them as like a holistic experience. And obviously, I'm privileged to be able to say that, because if you had to really watch them on a release, well, they took 3 years between the 2 movies. So a little bit harder in that case. But for me, I got to watch them back to back, and I love the fact that I could do that, because really it felt like a holistic story that required the 2 pieces. And I remember thinking after I watched the first one, like, I really enjoyed this, but are they gonna be able to pull it off with part 2 and make it feel like one big holistic story, and it's not gonna feel too segmented, or maybe it's just gonna like fall flat towards the final chapter. But when I watched the second one, I was like, this confirms for me that I love the first one as well, because it really kind of went full circle.
Yeah.
And I just loved the experience overall. So good. Can't wait to rewatch them before the next one comes out.
Yeah.
Love that.
I
Oh, go ahead.
remember when Dune 1 came out, it was like during the pandemic, so HBO had that
That's true.
relationship or like agreement where I guess the Warner Brothers movies would kind of co-release like on HBO and in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't for an extra cost or anything. I remember watching it at home or like at a friend's house and then immediately just being like, I need to see this in the theater. Like, and then
Yeah.
I went and paid to see it in the theater. And then with the second
crazy.
one, I saw it, release week or whatever, for that. So, I mean, I think the movies are excellent. The character portrayals are excellent. I heard Dune gets really weird near, as we get through the books. I've read some spoilers and stuff, and it does sound like it gets hella weird, but man, the
Love it.
cinematography is great, and like the storytelling was really good. And I mean, Dune's great. I love it.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of Dune. Huge fan. Read the books, love the movies. I think that, I've seen the 1984 adaptation, the David Lynch ones, or David Lynch movie, which basically the story of Dune 1 and Dune 2 is just in that one movie, and it is so rushed, and you barely get to know anybody, and it is honestly not super enjoyable. It sounds like it got kind of like edited to hell and like back.
Yeah.
But honestly, I enjoyed watching that movie because it made me appreciate Dune 1 and Dune 2, because I harp on part 1s and part 2s all the time. And I don't think any franchise that I could think of has done it better than Dune, because both Dune and Dune Part 2 are fantastic. Dune Part 2, though, in particular, 5 stars for me. Like that story is just so good. I still think about that opening scene where they're floating to the rocks. Like their jetpacks are kind of like levitating like diagonally to the rocks. I don't know if you remember that exact scene that I'm talking about, but like it's just so futuristic. Everything just looks so crisp in that film, and then the performances are just next level. It does go a lot of strange places, and it sets it up really, really well, because basically towards the end of the Dune Part 2, you're like, wait a minute, is this good? Are we the bad people? And that's exactly what the books kind of delve into, and that kind of that struggle, which I can't wait. I can't wait to see Timothy Chalamet get into that role, because I think he'll rock that. But man, I'm so glad for you that you got to experience these.
Honestly,
oof, what a ride.
yeah, I watched a lot of Timothy Chalamet movies, I feel like, this year. And honestly, I'm very happy to say that, because I have not seen enough of his work before this year. And this has been an emergence for me, as far as like following this dude and like seeing his new movies moving forward. Like that's gonna have to be a thing that I do until further notice, because almost every movie that I watch of his, I'm always left really impressed. And obviously, Dune is much beyond just him. Like you guys have kind of nailed it. The cinematography was amazing. The plot and the depth of the characters and the depth of the topics were all so really well thought out. And obviously, that's a credit to the book as well. And this made me want to read the book. So I'm in the very early process of making that happen too. But I'm looking forward to watching the next installment as well. Can't wait.
Are you gonna watch Marty Supreme on Christmas Day?
I'm not gonna watch it on Christmas Day, but I'm definitely keeping my eye on it for as soon as it's available outside of theaters. That to me just doesn't feel like a theater movie to me. But if someone really wanted to go, maybe I'd consider it.
Yeah. Well, if you make it back to Virginia, you can come with us, because we'll be there Christmas Day.
See you guys on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. He's kind of in this weird renaissance where he's gotten, like, we're so used to like athletes talking very highly of themselves, like they're their own hype man.
Sure.
They don't have to be humble. Like it's good for a wide receiver to think well of themselves. Actors always have like this air of humility, which has always just felt super disingenuous. Like, come on, we know that you think you're the stuff. And he's like going on this interview trail, and I don't know if it's a bit or what, but he is kind of full of himself, and he's like, no, this is great. Like, what I'm pumping out right now is greatness, and I'm glad we all get to witness this. And you know what?
Hell yeah.
I'm kind of here for it. Like, go for it. Go for it, Timmy. So I'm definitely intrigued with Marty Supreme, because a lot of the critics that have seen it have talked really highly of it. So hopefully it's a good one.
I'm looking forward to that.
All right, Tiffany, number 2. Where we got?
Okay, So my number 2 movie is a movie that came out last year in 2024. I watched this movie on an airplane and proceeded to ugly cry
Oh
near the
no.
end. And so
Were you a middle seat,
no,
aisle,
I was aisle.
window?
I was aisle.
Oh
Okay.
man.
I do not
I think that's
recommend
good,
Extra
right?
witnesses.
like
Extra
watching this on
witnesses,
a
but you.
plane, but I highly recommend watching it, period. And the
Uh-huh.
movie that I am talking about is called The Wild Robot.
Oh
Oh
yeah, yeah.
my
It is a
gosh.
DreamWorks picture. It's directed by, surprisingly enough, the guy who like created Stitch from Lilo and Stitch and even still voices him. Like he voiced
Oh
Stitch
wow.
in the live action this year. But
I didn't know that.
yeah, this
Oh,
guy directed The Wild Robot, which is like an
really?
adaptation of a children's book. Yeah.
That's wild.
And it was so good. I saw trailers and I didn't understand what this animated film was about at all, and so I just saw it on the plane as an option. I was like, let me just watch this. Pedro Pascal's
Mm-hmm.
in it, as the voice
Of
of a
course.
fox.
Of course. Why
Um,
wouldn't he be? You know what I mean?
yeah, Lupita Nyong'o is the voice of the robot, and it is the most beautiful story of found family that I've ever witnessed. I think in the last like decade. I'm almost like
Hmm.
tearing up thinking about it, but the movie was just, it was so good. It's about this, it's like a futuristic time where there are helper robots and there is a robot delivery that kind of goes a like it's a ship that had a bunch of them and ends up crashing on an island, and only one robot kind of survives, and basically the robot learns to live amongst nature
Mm-hmm.
and the creatures. And so this robot ends up like raising a little goose,
Yeah.
and the story ensues. It's really good. Like this movie was I was shocked by how wonderful I thought the movie was. The storytelling was good. The angst of like being like becoming yourself or like finding yourself, coming of age, that's what I'm thinking of. The coming of age
Yeah, yeah.
story of like a goose. You're just like, what is she talking about? But like it's so good. It's so, I cannot even, my words do not do it justice, you guys.
I've heard really good things about this movie.
Yes.
I think your words are doing it justice because I'm witnessing in real time that Yasser has added it to his watch list on Letterboxd. So like
literally, I was like, wait, this isn't already on my watch list because I know all about this movie,
You've-
but I totally
you've
forgot
convinced
about
him.
it.
Yeah.
So
This
thank
movie
you.
is great. Like this, let me just blubber about this for a
Yeah,
second.
please do.
I watched this in the way that it should have been, which was
Safely in your
I
home.
watched it on vacation.
Yes.
Oh.
Maddie was asleep. I watched it and I cried to myself like multiple times.
Yes.
Like fits of crying.
Damn.
Not just like, not a little like,
Ugly.
no,
yeah,
like
yeah.
ugly crying.
Yes.
And I am like
Like
trying
woke her
not
up
to
crying?
shake. I'm trying not to shake the bed like with my crying.
Holy
And it's
crap.
not even it's not at the end. Like
Yeah,
multiple
multiple times.
times through
Oh my
this movie.
gosh.
Yes.
Yes. This is the worst plane movie you could have ever done.
I didn't know. I didn't
You
know.
should have texted me.
On the plane? I don't pay for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But this is an incredible film. Like I still feel the way I felt when I watched it. A lot of people, like everybody was in Flo's camp for its Oscar run, but honestly, this was my best animated winner in my mind. Like it was just so good.
Yes.
This and Memoir of a Snail from last year were just like excellent, a tier above. But this one is so good. I've recommended it to so many people. I really like the animation style of Wild Robot.
Yeah.
And it just
Looks
feels a
beautiful.
little bit fresh. Like I know we love Pixar. Like I'm not hating on Pixar, but it is cool when you see like I think it's DreamWorks,
New art
isn't it?
style.
It's just like I don't know. It's used in other areas and other movies, but I feel like it's not as like the lighting of this. I feel like I remembered instinctively. Like the maybe I'm wrong in my remembrance, but I was just very impressed by the animation style, and the story is great, and it's a really good feel good movie. Found family is like such a common theme in so many movies, but
Yeah.
yeah, it nailed it.
Can I also say
This
that I looked up that the flight I was on was literally to a work conference. Also,
Love it.
like
oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure I was ugly crying with people that I would essentially have to potentially talk to later. I mean, I didn't, but yeah, I knew a lot of people. Like when people were getting on the plane and stuff, it sounded like we're all going to the same conference. So yeah, I just like ugly cried there.
Is this a movie that you guys think you'd watch with your parents? Or is it something that like it has to be something is it like too dark or sad to watch with family?
No, I think you can watch with family. I've tried to convince Alex to watch it, and he's just like, I don't care, and I'm like, no, you need to watch
Like
it.
if there are people that are like, I do not want to watch sad movies, I
Yeah.
would not watch it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think, like I don't know. And some people are like more, like most of the things in this are animals
Yeah,
and
True.
this one robot. So if you ask them if they like the Iron Giant, they're like, oh no, like I can't handle that movie. Just move along. Like it's
Yeah.
basically Iron Giant 2.0.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Great number 2 movie. Kind of staying in the same vein.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about probably the most emotion that I've felt in a movie, and I've also talked about it on this pod because we watched it at Virginia Film Festival, and I actually
Wow.
watched it again today,
I
which
saw
is
that.
Hamnet. Yeah.
Oh,
So Hamnet is, for those of you unfamiliar, it is a story of William Shakespeare and his wife. They have a few kids. Things end up happening. I think it's pretty well known that William Shakespeare does lose a child at some point in his life, and that kind of propels him to write a script called Hamlet. And from there, like it's just basically like the story of that leads to a tragedy, I guess, is maybe the easiest way to say it. I love this movie. I think this is great. It's a certified banger for me. 5 out of 5. The emotion that I feel in this has not been topped this year. Like if I watched Wild Robot this year, it could have been topped, but I watched Wild Robot last year, so
right.
Hamnet can take that take that mantle and run with it. But the really cool thing about this is, one, I think that a lot of movies do deal with loss. They do deal with grief. And most of the time, you don't necessarily get to know the characters leading up to the loss. So you just have to deal with the loss. But the thing that Hamnet does really well is that it kind of shows you the initial love first and really dials that in. So probably the first hour is just focused on love and focused on this family dynamic. And then they strip some of that away. And then you just have to deal with the emotion for the rest of the time. I cannot get through that last final scene without tearing up. Like it is so good. We went to a matinee. Majority of people were over the age of 65. It was great. Not a dry eye in sight. Like
Okay.
it still hits. Even with a
Wild.
lesser crowd, like it wasn't super crowded.
Yeah.
It was just a great time. So could not recommend enough. My second favorite film of the year. Second favorite 2025 film of the year, Hamnet.
So did you see
Yeah,
it in
Matt.
theaters
Oh, go ahead, Tiffany.
recently or today?
So I watched it again today.
Okay.
So I initially watched it at Virginia Film Festival
Right.
and then rewatched it today in kind of preparation for this episode.
Okay, and
And
okay,
you
today
watched
in
it in a
theaters?
theater again.
Yes,
Okay.
in the theater.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Because now I
Because
definitely
it actually just released like world, like I guess more wide, maybe last
The
week
full
or
release,
this
yeah.
weekend. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay, got it.
Yeah, Tiffany mentioned a sad movie, and you're like, "Let me tell you, I got a sad movie of my own this year."
Yeah, that's right. Just
Yeah,
keep
this
one-upping
was
each other.
an incredible movie to watch. We talked about it in our Virginia Film Festival pod. If you haven't listened to that, definitely listen to it. But We love this movie. This was a movie that like everybody seems to react to in some way, especially towards those last few chapters. Not surprised that your matinee was also very misty-eyed. I don't
Yeah.
like. I feel like you have to be in like a certain mood to watch this movie too. Like it's probably the case with the previous movie as well. But do you feel like you could watch
Mhm.
this at any time, or do you feel like you need to have like a clear head to watch this?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. I think there's three films um, from this year that have been my favorite movies of the year that released in 2025.
Hmm.
This is the only movie in that mix where it's not easy to recommend to people because you do, I feel like,
Yeah,
have to be in a certain place. And it's not
yeah,
like a very enjoyable watch, I would say. The
right.
other ones are almost like comfort food. I am just, you know, enjoying X, Y, and Z. Hamnet
Hmm.
is great, but like the best part about Hamnet is the like emotion and the performances. Like there is a part where Jessie Buckley, who plays Agnes, which is William Shakespeare's wife, she is screaming and no noise is coming out of her mouth. Like
Oh.
it, I have seen people do that in real life. Like it is, I feel like a very movie-fied scream is like that guttural, like almost horror scream.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
but her just like screaming and just nothing left, like all the air is out of her body, and she's just like wide agape, mouth wide agape. Like, man, this movie, if you're not ready for emotion, like you may need to stay clear. But when you do, I think you just unlock so many different thoughts and conversations.
I'm definitely putting this on the list. Maybe this is my Christmas Day movie.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man.
You guys are like, she's not ready.
A
It's
day of
literally like,
joyfulness.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, that's a tough day to watch something like that, I feel. But you could do it.
Just,
It can be
just
done.
wait for a plane. No, I'm kidding.
Like
Don't do that.
that's true. It's better here than on a plane. So
Yeah.
All
All right,
right.
Yasser.
Ready for mine?
Number two.
All
So
right.
ready.
So I started off with my like more or probably most memorable experience um of the year. But now I'm gonna move on to my favorite non 2025 movie that I've watched.
Okay. Okay.
So this is just the like technical best movie that I thought I watched this year that did not release
Okay.
in this
Perfect.
calendar year. And in this case, I honestly can't believe it took me as long as it did. It released in 2023, but this is a director that I almost never miss. So it's kind of shocking I didn't watch this on release in theaters, but I finally watched Oppenheimer this year. And
oh,
Whoa.
okay.
it just
Really?
it didn't feel right not to include this in the pod just because it was so incredibly well done. It might honestly be my favorite Nolan movie. I'm not sure if I can definitively
Really?
say
Okay.
that, but it's definitely up there for me. Um, I probably need to rewatch it at least once, probably twice to be able to say that definitively, but I know that it's up there. This is a movie that felt like multiple movies packed into one. But it's crazy how fast that 3-hour runtime went to me. Like it didn't feel like it dragged, and that to me is very impressive because I
Yeah.
I just can't do 3-hour movies anymore. I really can't. Like, do you guys struggle with that at all? Like when it's a you like look
100%.
at a movie that you
100%.
want to watch, like it's 2 hours, 45 minutes. I don't know if I can watch this right now.
Yeah. When you're doing the math in your head, it's like
Yeah.
181 minutes. How? Okay. And
What time
60.
is it right
Uh
now?
oh.
What time is
Yeah.
that showing? Yeah. Um, but I thought this flew by. I thought I was like at the edge of my seat constantly, even for something that's not really a story that you would think of as a thriller. But I felt really engaged with the storytelling, and honestly, this is another depressing movie in my opinion. It's not depressing in the same way as the 2 movies you have mentioned, in your top 2, but I think this is depressing in another way, just like the actual subject matter the topics that are discussed as far as like nuclear warfare,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's also really kind of hard, or can be hard if you're really into it, and it gets depressing thinking about how he must have been feeling, like the circumstances that come up. I'm not trying to spoil anything because I think people need to watch this, and if they haven't, I don't want to spoil it. But I really enjoyed this movie. I assume you've seen it, Matt. Tiffany, have you seen it?
I actually haven't.
Okay. It was part of the whole Barbenheimer, so I thought I'd at least ask and see if you had like a double feature with Barbie.
Yeah, no,
Did you
Matt.
watch Barbie either? Out of
No,
curiosity?
I watched Barbie. Matt was like, "Are we doing it, Tiff?" And I was like, "I'll do the Barbie." I actually
Yeah,
think I
unbelievable.
was working. I honestly think I was working the night for Oppenheimer, and I wasn't gonna stop Matt
Yeah.
from following his bliss and seeing it like immediately. You know what I mean? So I just
Yeah.
didn't have a chance. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, I think there was a group that watched it on Thursday release when it came out. Because the thought is always, which is going to be the first movie you see? And we decided that Barbie would probably be the one to end the weekend on,
Yeah.
like go
That
out
makes
on a
sense.
high. Um, and
Emotional
so it
high.
was a smaller group. It was a smaller group for Oppenheimer,
Mhm.
but we were a strong group. We were committed to the bit.
Yeah.
I will say it's I need to revisit it. I really enjoy it. Like I'm the way I'm talking about this sounds like I didn't rate it a 4.5 and a heart. Like I love this movie. I thought this was a great movie. Um, but like it is a tough watch. You know, the premise that Oppenheimer was the guy that made the atomic bomb, and kind of seeing the weight of that, like a weight of genius. He is just a small cog in a big machine. It just happens that his big machine kills millions of people. Like it
Mhm.
is the weight of that on him as a person, and kind of like how it affects his personal life and his professional life. And I found it very fascinating. Like honestly, it shouldn't be as fascinating as it was. I think that's just Christopher Nolan just
Honestly,
killing it.
yeah.
But yeah, I love this movie. I thought it is kind of fun. You go almost maybe 90 minutes, and it's one film. It's basically like a biopic, and then the last 90 is kind of like this courtroom drama.
Yeah.
And a lot of things are in black and white to signify retelling of the past. And like there's so many clever things that they do with the filmmaking that just like sets it apart for me. So
Right.
really, I'm shocked you didn't see
I
this.
know.
But welcome to 2023.
Thank you, thank you. Hopefully, I mean, for sure, I will not be waiting this long for Odyssey. But I
Yeah.
mean, when I watched this movie, it was filled with other bangers that it almost like diluted the experience to me, where I feel like I need to rewatch it because I watched a lot of good movies early on in the year, and that's
Mm,
when I watched
hmm.
Oppenheimer, and oh, I definitely am looking forward to rewatching it again. Um,
Yeah.
but like you said, it's not like the most enjoyable or like exciting topic, and so it's not like it's something that you can't wait to revisit. But I know I'm gonna enjoy it all over again when I do.
Yeah. Getting ready for the Odyssey. I tried to get IMAX tickets for the Odyssey.
Did you try?
And it was already sold out.
Whoa, are you serious?
Yeah.
So like, how many
At
weeks
the
are they pre-selling?
I only
And I
looked at the
hate this.
first
Like
weekends.
this is so silly.
I only looked at the first weekend and it was sold
Okay.
out. I don't know
I
beyond
guess that's
that,
not
like if they're
crazy.
selling like multiple weeks. Yeah. Which I guess that's, understandable. But the closest one to us is in North Carolina, and so I just looked at that one. I was like, darn. So maybe IMAX. I'm sure it's going to stay in IMAX forever. But cannot wait.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be. It's a summer movie, right? For
Yes,
2026.
July
Yes.
2026. The Odyssey's different though, because like I'm into the Odyssey. You know what I mean? Like I'm into Greek
Yeah.
mythology.
So you're like
So
more hyped for
Hmm.
this.
yes, absolutely.
It's so funny because it's like they're now starting to like go on the trail talking about the Odyssey,
Hmm.
and they're like, oh yeah, if the book says this, we are doing this. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's doing it. Because like, remember when Oppenheimer was coming out, they're like, everything is practical. And it's like, you're detonating a nuclear bomb? Like, what? what is happening?
Yeah.
But it's like that same movement. It's like, Chris Nolan back at it again.
Yeah, like building a real ship and sailing the seas with an intimate
that's
crew.
Crazy. So crazy.
That's gonna be an epic.
Honestly,
I feel like
I'm
that's gonna be
excited.
like oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Okay, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like that movie is gonna be like an Interstellar type of experience, and I'm really here for it. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the cast that he's bringing because honestly,
the
Cillian
cast.
Murphy in Oppenheimer, like he elevated in my mind because of what he did in Oppenheimer. Obviously, he won the Oscar, very well deserving. But I'm excited for like people like Tom Holland, who's kind of been in the Marvel, the Marvel machine for a little bit, and this gives him a chance to kind of see what he's got. Because if you can't do it with Chris Nolan, like, maybe it won't happen. But like I really just feel like he can really get the best out of people. So I'm pumped to see what happens with some of this cast.
100%. I feel the same exact way about, and I know Zendaya has already been in Dune and a lot of other great movies and shows. I can't wait to see her in a Nolan film as well. And there's so many, like, this cast is actually incredible too. Like Robert Pattinson's in it, Matt Damon's in it, Anne Hathaway is in it. Like, you have so many big names, and I can't wait to see how this all turns out. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Mia Goth is in it.
I cannot wait.
It's insane.
Circle your calendars, everybody. But it will be interesting where Oppenheimer cleared house in the Oscars. Like, can they do it again? Like, can lightning strike twice? But with everything, I can't imagine the hype getting any more than it is. So
yeah, it's kind of insane.
Yeah. All right, Tiffany, it's time for number one.
This is going to be interesting.
No, it's not.
Because like there's one that's like clearly in my mind, but like I want to see it like confirmed.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone knows if you've listened to this pod, if you know me, if you know what a Tiffany game is and you know what a Tiffany movie is, my 2025
Hello Kitty
movie of
Island
the year.
Adventure.
Exactly.
The movie.
Exactly. My number one movie is a freaking worldwide phenomenon. Okay, it is K-pop Demon Hunters.
Let's go.
And knowing my list, I realized, like, after I pretty much put them in the order, I was like, all my movies this year, all my bangers are animated films, and I feel like this just shows how much
that's true.
Animated films can just do so much, and at this point, I'm like now begging book adaptations to just turn to animation if needed, right? Like that's a side opinion that I have, but because you can do great things with animation. But K-pop Demon Hunters is my number one movie. You know, a few years ago, I guess it was 2020, my movie of the year was, Turning Red. Another wonderful animated film based on an Asian family, and K-pop Demon Hunters just, is even more closer to home, sharing the culture, sharing my love of K-pop, sharing everything about it, like even the mythology of the derpy tiger and the magpie, like every choice was intentional when making that film, and I loved it dearly, and the music is so good. That is my movie of the year. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. I feel like every child in America has come to I mean, like they
seriously,
know the songs.
I don't think you're even exaggerating.
Yeah.
It feels that way a lot.
Literally every single one.
Yeah. The K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack was not on my Spotify Wrapped because I was so angered every time I tried to listen to it on there. I straight up bought the album and I just listened to it with my purchase.
That's a real fan right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
MP3s or whatever. So I was like, do I buy the CD too? My car still has a CD drive. So like
that's wild.
I was like, do I get that? I haven't gone that far yet, but yeah, I just love it so much.
Tiffany. Honestly, I was so sure that this was going to be at least in your top 3, but probably your top 1.
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I didn't bring it up. Like, honestly, I think this was very viable to surpass Dune as like my top experience of the
Yeah.
year in 2025 because like you said, it seems like everyone's watched it, especially children, obviously, like they've watched it a million times, but it's kind of exploded. Like we see reference in the like Thanksgiving parade.
Yeah.
You see in K-pop concerts, people are doing covers of it. You're seeing
Yes.
it literally everywhere. I got into Fortnite a little bit this year, and I've been waiting for the skin to come out so I can buy that shit.
Yeah.
It was literally
Yes.
everywhere. And it's an incredible movie, incredible experience. It's definitely one of the movies that I'm gonna think of when I think of in 2025. Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah. Summer movie.
Well, I'm not a fake fan like you because this was my number one artist in my Spotify Wraps.
That's wild.
I'm not joking. Like it was.
I freaking
Also,
love that.
I don't listen to much music, but when I do, it's K-pop Demon Hunters. Because this
Yes.
soundtrack honestly is incredible. Like it's not a gimmick. It's not
Absolutely.
cringy.
Yes.
I will say when I first listened to Soda Pop, I was like, ooh. I think it was just because it was on Netflix.
Oh my God,
And like
no,
every time you
no,
like
no.
hover over it,
Oh.
they would sing Soda Pop.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh,
Oh, I
stop
love
it.
it. I love
And
it.
then I didn't see it for like another week, so I had listened to that song a little bit, and I was like, ugh, if it's all like that, I might not finish this. And then it just starts with a banger and it ends with a banger, and everything in between is a banger.
Yes.
Even Soda Pop is still a banger. Like all of it's great, and I love what I really love is that it's not just music, but it's music that matches with the animation style and the timing of the animation. Everything is perfectly in tune, and it's just high quality. Like this is not just because Netflix has a lot of subscribers and that's why a bunch of people have seen it. No,
Not at all.
it's so good. Like there is so much slop that is on that app and literally everywhere else, and it's not that at all. Like this is honestly some of the most high quality animation that I've seen. And the last time I thought that was with Sony
Spider-Verse.
Animation
Yes.
with Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Yes.
Like it is
that
crazy
good.
what they're doing over
It's
there.
that good.
Yeah. I watched it twice this year. I increased my star rating the second time, and I honestly like if I probably watched it again, I'd probably increase it again.
Yeah.
Like it is just that good. So well deserving movie, one of my favorites of the year. And I agree with you. When I think back at 2025, it's gotta be this movie. This is probably the movie I'm
Iconic.
going to think about the most
Yeah.
past this year.
Can I also say a hot take?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I
Sorry, I don't know why I said no. Go ahead though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So
You could say it to me. It's fine.
I literally like when they announced like the theme or like in a concept art of this like 5 years ago, they announced that they were like going to work on this. I was like, I'm ready. I'm freaking ready for this. And then when I found out that it was going to just go straight to Netflix, I was like, okay, cool. I can watch immediately. I really truly think I know this movie stands on its own and is phenomenal. But I think that it only got as big as it did because it was on Netflix.
Totally. I
Like,
agree with that.
I don't know, like I think honestly Sony Animation made a great choice of partnering with Netflix. I had some friends comment and were like, wow, Sony was so dumb for like selling the movie to Netflix. And I was like, no, it only got this huge because it was on Netflix and because it was so easily accessible for everyone to watch it. Because I know that if it came out in theaters, I know I would have seen it opening and then I would have screamed from the rooftops about it and it would not have been enough. I don't think anyone would have cared if this only came out in the theater. So I'm actually like really happy with the turn of events.
It's a very interesting argument to make, but I honestly think I agree with you. Do you agree with that, Matt?
I think so. Like I think it's a couple things because it was there readily available that you could just pop it on for your kids and then kids will literally watch it over and over and over again, that it reached that. It is hard. Like Chainsaw Man released this year and it like worldwide has like 154 million. I think this would do better than Chainsaw Man. Like I think there is a desire for animation on the big screen. So I think it would have done well if it was like well marketed. But I don't know. I think the secret sauce of this was you could get into everybody's zeitgeist if you just get into the number one streaming platform and it be good. So
Yeah.
like I think I agree with you.
Okay, so I guess my
Yeah,
take wasn't as hot.
no, I really don't think it's that hot of a take.
Okay.
Because to me, it felt like the perfect mix of like the genre that it was, the fact
Mhm.
that it's musical based, the fact that it's Netflix specifically and not like Paramount Plus. All
Mhm.
those things put
Yeah.
together is what made it into this like mega hit that it became. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it would have happened in any other way, like a different service or it went to theater first. I think it still would have performed well, but just not have been as crazy as it was the way that it just came out of nowhere. Everyone could just go and watch it. Um, and I think that they re-released it as like a sing-along version in movie theaters too. And I'm pretty sure that
They
performed
did.
pretty well, right? I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
like
yeah.
the exact
Yeah.
numbers, but I heard a lot of people into it.
I think
Yeah.
that because it came out into theaters maybe in end of July, August, I think, because like the movie came out
Yeah.
like June 20th. And
Right.
So what I'm looking at, the domestic box office was 24 million, and that's literally for maybe a weekend in August 2025.
yeah,
That's pretty
Okay.
good for a
Yeah.
movie that had been released for a month and a half at that point.
Yeah.
Like you're literally just getting the
Just
hardcore
free
fans
money.
that are like,
Yeah.
no, I want to see this
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the biggest screen possible.
Wild.
I did not partake because I didn't. To be honest, I just didn't want to hear other people singing the music.
Yeah, that's a kid
quite your
thing.
vibe.
That's a kid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it with my whole heart. 2025 is K-pop Demon Hunters, is Huntrix, is Saja Boys, is all that, and I cannot wait for the sequel.
Yeah, I have high aspirations for Golden winning the Oscar.
Yes.
Like I think that would be great.
Yeah, it
I
has
I think
to.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I just can't see it not winning.
I think there's some, competitors out there, but I don't know that for that to just reach not only like so good, like just like from a movie standpoint, but like it was on Billboard, right? Like
Yeah.
one of Billboard's like
absolutely.
top releases this year, like for a long time. So like I think it's time for that, and that I'm really excited just for like, hey, this is a proof of concept. Make creative things that are original. Put it on something, and people will flock to it if it's quality.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
can't be mad about that.
Yep.
All right, my number one. I really struggle with this list because there's always going to be
must have
movies
been really
that
tough.
really define the year for me
Yeah.
that aren't going to make the list. But that's okay. Like if we had a top 10, I might have been like pleased with that. But then I would be podcasting alone, and no one wants that.
Yeah.
So my number one film was Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another. Also
interesting.
rewatched this today.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. So
my gosh.
today I had
That was
two
a busy day.
5-star experiences. It is incredible. Like honestly, it's incredible. It basically follows a resistance fighter who's played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Basically he was part of like this militia called the French 75, and basically they fought to basically free people that were detained for crossing the Mexico border. And it's like very politically charged movie. Things happen, kind of a time skip, and it follows him like 16 years later. He's kind of a stoner at this point. Definitely not like your coup de grace, like resistance fighter. Like this guy is, not G.I. Joe or anything. He is kind of a loser, and he lives with his daughter, and he's been in hiding basically this entire time from the military. And now the military is knocking on his door, and what does he do? And so it follows him kind of over a few days, and he is just kind of like a bumbling buffoon when it comes to these things. Like he has this deep network of spies where, he's trying to figure out this rendezvous point. He calls the number. He can remember the number to call them, but then they have a set of passwords, and he just cannot get it because he's been smoking weed for 16 years.
Oh
And like,
my gosh.
it is just so much fun. Honestly, the cool part about it is with Hamnet, my favorite, cast member was Jessie Buckley. She just stole the show, and she honestly, in comparison, a lot of the other cast can kind of fall by the wayside. But the beautiful thing about One Battle After Another is that literally there's so many standout performances that match each other's energies so well. Like Leonardo DiCaprio is Leonardo DiCaprio, and people that share scenes with him match his energy, and nobody feels out of place. Like it just feels like a real story. When you're talking, Yasser, about Oppenheimer with 181 minutes, this is also a 3-hour movie, or
Yeah,
getting up there. It does not feel like that, and I struggle to watch long movies. Like 90 minutes or less is perfect,
for real.
and I just feel like it goes by so breezy. Could not recommend enough. I think I've said that for all three of them. So all three could not recommend enough, but this one, I guess, takes my ultimate recommendation.
Funny that this is your number one. I actually was about to watch this past weekend, um, but I decided against it. I really wanted to fit it in before this pod because I've heard so many good things. I figured it was going to be on your top list as well. Um, but I had just watched Phantom Thread the other day, and
I saw that
I
you saw
can't
like
I can't, there's no way that I could watch 2 PTA movies back to back. I just can't do it.
mhm,
Like, that to me is, like, just too much to try to absorb at once, and honestly, for me, PTA is, like, I'm very hot and cold with his films.
mhm.
They're all very well made, they're all incredible, but I don't think I can say that I love all of them, even though they're all really well made. So I'm really curious to see where I fit on this. The fact that Leo is in it and he's the main role, or the main, like, headline actor in a PTA movie, obviously that's a big deal. And I just can't wait to see how it turns out and like what I think of it. But obviously the
Yeah.
reception has been incredible, and I'm not surprised that it's this high on your list.
There's so many spoilers that I want to get into. That have so many. The reason why it's so high on my list is there's so many parallels to kind of real life,
Yeah.
um, but not in a way that is tied to a person, but more to an ideal. And I don't know if
Mhm.
that makes any sense, but
Oh, it
I
does.
think there's there's a lot of really fun kind of discussions that can come from this movie, which I really love. But even beyond it, like even if you're not looking for that sort of thing, you can just enjoy PTA shooting shots. Like s- strap this camera on a car, let that car drive, and man, you've got a great PTA shot. Like there's a chase scene in this, and I'm not going to say anything more to it. It is maybe my favorite chase scene of all time, and it is very abnormal, and you might not even call it a chase scene, but I do. So I can't wait for you watch it and just let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It definitely seems like a movie that you can't watch with like anybody. It seems like it's, well, I guess that's true of a lot of PTA movies, right? Where
Hmm.
they're a little bit more raunchy than your typical movie.
They are. I did see it like when it came out, like in a packed theater.
Yeah.
But like it is, yeah. There's for multiple reasons.
Were
Like
there a lot
if
of
if there are
gasps
certain
and like,
people with
whoa?
like, yeah, there is, there is some shock factor to it. But yeah, love it. I don't want to say more. I don't want to say more.
I've only seen the trailers for it, and it seemed just like an action thriller. And I was like, maybe I'll see it, maybe I won't. But hearing that you
Yeah.
enjoyed it,
It like honestly, that is like that's kind of what it is. Like it is he's running, from place to place. He's meeting a bunch of like characters that are great. Benicio del Toro is my standout performance of this. He just owns the screen. But basically he's going like place to place talking to like out of this world characters, and he's just trying to get like one step ahead of his pursuers. And yeah, it's really fun. So if you take a lot of the stuff away, like behind it is a really fun, thrilling movie that just keeps pace super well. The soundtrack is amazing. It is, yeah, could not, I could blubber more about this movie, um, and
We
I
probably
will,
would need
I'm
a whole
sure, at
pod.
later times.
Okay.
All right, Yasser, I
All
think you're
right.
left.
All right. Well, for mine, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. You guys are probably not going to be too surprised, but I will say this follows along the same lines of what you were kind of saying with One Battle After Another, where it's a movie that you can really just enjoy for what it is. But then if you really want to, you can like kind of start peeling back the layers and really thinking about like some of the decisions behind this movie. And really just like I feel like I could talk about this movie for hours, and I have done so with a lot of different people this year that I just couldn't have it not be in my top 3. And because this is a movie that came out in 2025, it's gonna be my top 2025 movie of the year, and that's Sinners.
Okay.
Nice.
Um,
Okay, good. Phew.
That makes sense.
I'm like, did both of us? We both. One of us had to have it on our list.
yeah, yeah. This is a movie that I watched 3 times this year, which is also crazy. I do not rewatch movies when they come out like that at all. But one, that happened because I wanted to see it again in IMAX, and that was a great experience. And then we got to see it again at the Virginia Film Festival, and that was an incredible experience too, obviously. And so watched this 3 times. It's not a short movie, and yet each time it felt like the runtime just like flew by. Again, one of those movies where you can just have fun with it. Um, and I feel like that's kind of what made it such an easy box office hit this year. Because you can appreciate it for what it is as far as like the filmmaking, um, like perfection in a lot of these different scenes and a lot of the different sound design choices. But peel back all those layers and it's still just a fun movie to watch with a group of friends on just like a casual weekend or a chill night. And I feel like I can recommend this to most people. I don't feel like I have any trouble recommending this. Um, though I typically try to keep my cards close to my chest because I think it's fun to have someone just experience it without having too much background. Because I feel like the more you know about it, the some of the bizarre scenes, have a slightly different impact. Do you guys feel the same way, or like how much did you guys know going into watching this movie?
I knew
Go ahead.
little. Like I think I knew it was just I assumed it was a horror movie, and that's why I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Right, right. I remember
Yeah.
that. How about you, Matt?
I feel like I watched it pretty early on, and so I was pretty blind to what was happening about it. I had just heard that like it was a lot of people's most excited, or I don't know, highly
Anticipated.
anticipated movie of
Yeah.
2025. And so when it came around, I was like, sure, I'll watch a Michael B. Jordan film. Oh, it's Ryan Coogler. Yeah, I'm down for that. And then I had
Yeah.
no expectations. I honestly did
hmm
not know, like I knew there was vampires, but I did not know how there were going to be vampires.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even know there was going to be vampires. But to me, it was kind of like what you said. It I watched a teaser for it, like, I think late 2024. I was like, "Oh, yeah, this looks interesting. I definitely wanna watch it." And then I remember around the time that it released, people were really starting to hype it up. Um, like, pre-release the week beforehand, that everyone was saying, like, how good it is, and so that hyped me and a couple of friends enough to watch it on release day, and that was a great experience. Because I remember watching it thinking that this is probably one of the more fun in theater experiences that I've had in a while. In the sense that there were these like horror-esque scenes where you know what's coming, but you know that they're gonna make that dumb decision anyways, and they're gonna end up dying, or the vampire's gonna be
Yeah.
right around the corner. You know what it is. And
Yep.
those were just like fun scenes to have that I just feel like I haven't had in a movie going experience in a while, and it just felt nice to have that again, especially after post COVID and everything. But then it just like became its own thing to me this year, and I thought the thing that surprised me the most is how many different people I ended up talking to this movie about. Like, there were family members that I've literally never talked movies with before, that we ended up just having like a 20 to 30 minute convo about like, oh, what did you think this scene meant? Oh, it was so interesting that he did it this way, and like the way that they used the sound in this scene, blah blah blah. I never would have had these conversations if it wasn't for this movie. And it made me like more open to wanting to talk about movies just in general with more people. Um, and I think that's a great thing. And I love the fact that this kind of pulled that out of a lot of people. But like I said, beyond that, it's just such a fun experience, even without really diving into all those nitty gritty specifics. It's just fun to talk about. And I really enjoyed watching this movie. Matt, did you feel the same way as well?
Yeah, 100%. Like I it's this is what I was talking about when I was talking about comfort food, because this is
Yeah.
my, I guess, my third favorite 2025 movie. This is going to be one of my
Mhm.
honorable mentions. I kind of figured you were going to say something about it, which made me feel okay about it. So
Yeah.
if that guilt wasn't there, like if you weren't here, maybe it would have taken Hamnet's spot at number 2 and give me time to talk about it. But like, it is, between this and One Battle After Another, it is such more of an enjoyable watch than Hamnet. And I think it's just Ryan Coogler able to make something that could be off-putting to people and make it easy to go down. And I think back at that YouTube video that I think AMC released, but it basically had him talking through all the different formats of movies in like movie
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
theaters and talking about different style of film. And it's just Ryan Coogler talking about craft and talking about it, and he's just so personable about it, and it's not pretentious. He's just talking about it. He's talking about how he feels about each of these film cuts and what you should be looking for when you're going to a theater. And that's how I feel about this movie. It's a movie that could be off-putting to people, whether it's don't like horror or don't like some of the themes that it's going after. Like, the huge theme that's in this movie is that it didn't matter if the vampires came or not. Like, the KKK was coming the next day. Like, they were never free. They were never free of the horrors of their day-to-day life. And that's ultimately the theme of this movie. And like, they kill that. And that might, make, like, some people don't go to their movies for, to think, so maybe that's something that, is not palatable, but he makes it into a thing where I guess you can probably say the same thing about Zootopia, is they almost hide the theme in a way that makes the metaphor go down
Yeah.
easy. And
Yeah.
you can still have a lesson learned and it be an enjoyable thing, and it doesn't have to be preachy. It just has to be fun. And at the end of the day, it's a fun movie. The music is great. I love some of the cast, and it's a memorable experience for sure.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the few examples, which is funny because K-pop Demon Hunters was another one where I had one of the songs from the movie be probably one of my favorite songs that released this year. So
Oh,
I
really?
think, yeah, I I honestly am so bad with titles, but you know the one that I'm talking about, right? Like the song. What is it called?
The song? Oh, nice. Yeah. Honestly, the when you're going to credits, there's this beautiful song that's like a duet. And that was one of my top songs this year. So like, it made my Spotify Wrapped. I think it was like number 4, number 5.
Oh
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're just getting through this intense night, and then it gets to like this really beautiful melody, and yeah, that it's fantastic.
What was that one called? Do you remember?
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah,
Okay. The
keep
one that I'm
riffing, keep
thinking
riffing.
of is I Lied to You.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Speaking
Uh,
of
uh, uh,
Tiffany,
uh.
Yes.
what was your top song from K-pop Demon Hunters?
This is what it sounds like. The ending song.
Okay. Okay. So if you had to
That
pick one song, that would be the song.
that would be the song. Yep.
Interesting. Interesting choice. I like it.
Yeah. It's my favorite song. Are we gonna talk about honorable mentions now?
Let's do it. I
Okay.
can't find the title of the song because now I'm looking at these and none of these look familiar. So it's one of them. It's one of them. Just watch
Put in
the
the
movie and
timestamp.
the credit scene. That's what it is. Yeah, let's talk about honorable mentions.
Let's
Okay.
Do
do
we
it.
want to go through Alex's honorable mentions
Yeah,
first?
let's
or...
go through Alex's first. The ghost, our ghost editor, our co-host. Okay, so he had 2 honorable mentions, and one of them is also mine. So
Okay. Interesting.
the honorable mention that we kind of overlap on is the How to Train Your Dragon release, live action release that came out this year. He says that it's because he doesn't think that he's ever seen a better adaptation, and I freaking agree with him. When I get an adaptation of an animated film into live action, I literally just want a shot by shot remake. And guess what we got with How to Train Your Dragon? We got a shot by shot remake, and I loved
Really?
it.
Shot for shot.
Shot for shot. This was one of my 5-star movies this year. How to Train Your Dragon. It was really good. If you haven't, I think I've only seen the first like 2 or 3 of the movies. I think they have like 5 now at this point. I don't know, but this live action movie, when I watched it, I remembered pretty much everything of the original, and I was like, wow, no, this is like legitimately essentially the same movie, and I'm here for it. So shout out to How to Train Your Dragon. And the second honorable mention from Alex is Frankenstein, because he was pleasantly surprised about how faithful the movie was to the source material, and it inspired him to look up more of the book, because he's actually never read the book before, but after like reading a Cliff Notes of the story, he was like, wow, that movie was a very close adaptation, or using the source material and everything, and he really enjoyed that after learning it. So he's shouting out Frankenstein.
So what we're hearing is Alex likes when things are just like straight from the story.
Yeah, I get
straight from the source.
Great point.
Don't muck it up.
Yeah.
Don't change things. Don't change things that aren't broken.
Yeah.
Respect that.
I was not expecting that. I thought honestly one of his would be K-pop Demon Hunters, but
That's
I
what I
think
would
Zootopia.
have thought too.
I think with K-pop Demon
Neither of them
Hunters,
making the list.
he was just letting me toot the horn, or honestly, he might have forgotten.
Okay.
I have no idea, but we'll see with that. But yeah, I guess that's a good point, Matt. Like, his theming was, stay close to the source. Just make a good adaptation of the source material, and you'll get a fan out of him, which mad respect. I think last honorable mention is a movie that came out 20 years ago, and that movie is Pride and Prejudice. I
love that movie.
It's the first time I've like rewatched it since I was essentially like a child, I guess, technically. Like I think I was like 17 when I first saw that movie, and I did not appreciate it as much as I do now. And I think it's because I finally like understand it better. I don't know, but man, that movie was so good. I also watched this on the plane. I decided to, I don't think I think my eyes watered up a little bit. I don't remember crying.
Okay.
But I think I might have been close when Darcy was standing in the rain. There was a little bit of like, girl, he loves you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, girl.
I've seen that movie so much, like so many times.
Have you really?
It's such a classic. Yeah.
Oh man.
I love that movie.
I mean, and you know why I actually did choose to watch it this year is because I heard that Netflix is going to do a miniseries adaptation. So then I was like, oh my God, let me go back and let me rewatch the movie. And I was like, I was blown away. I think honestly, of being like older and I guess wiser, I don't know, I came to appreciate it way more than I did like way back when. So that's a shout out. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Perfect.
Those are great shout outs.
Yep.
So
What do you have,
my
Matt?
honorable mention, we've already talked about Sinners, but then I've got some classic JRPGs for you.
Give it to us.
Where I'm grouping a bunch of films together. One of my favorite parts about my goal this year was watching foreign language films, and Perfect Days was a foreign language film that I watched. But I wanted to shout out a couple more because honestly, some of them have been some of the best movies I've seen. Like these are all 5 out of 5, I would say, masterpiece. With one that is, still in my top 5, Memories of Murder, which is a Bong Joon-ho film, Old Boy, which is Park
Oh my,
Chan-wook, and then High and
yes.
Low, which is a Kira Kurosawa classic. All three of those, so good, so incredible. Honestly, Memories of Murder is one of those things where I've been thinking about that movie quite a bit this year
Mm.
since I've watched it. It's incredible. It's one of those things where Mickey 17 came and went this year. I didn't like it. It's one of my biggest disappointments of the year.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
And
That
so
was on my list too. Like
I
my
wanted to see
most
director
anticipated.
Bong do his thing. And
Right.
Memories of Murder, just, man, he kills it with some of these movies. I'm starting to think that maybe more English forward movies just aren't my favorite, and I don't know what that is. I don't know. But Memories of Murder is very special for sure.
That was
But
my
then
suspicion as
one
well.
oh
After watching Mickey
mm,
17 and Snowpiercer, I do wonder if like there's something that's lost in translation. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think Memories of Murder, like, it was based on a true story about some killings that happened in Korea.
Mhm.
Um, and so I feel like it was a very personal story to everybody growing up in that area. It was basically like their equivalent of like the Zodiac killer. So, um,
Mm.
yeah, maybe that is part of it. But yeah, I'm starting to think, because Parasite is just so good. Like, it is
Yeah.
maybe top 10 favorite movies of all time. And this is right up there with it. So, but then one more big shout out. I watched a bunch of franchises this year. I watched all the Predator franchise. I watched all the um, Mission Impossible franchise, leading up to a lot of 2025 releases. But I watched another franchise that is potentially one of my new favorite franchises ever, which is the John Wick series. Watched
Okay.
them
That
all
makes
for
me
the
very
first
happy.
time. And honestly, like, when I look at, because I rank and rate and review every movie that I watch, and they're all at the top. Like, they're all pretty close to the top of movies that I've seen this year. And they're all distinct. Like, I love it. It's not all just the same. I can't wait to watch Ballerina. I still need to watch that from this year. But yeah, that's a very, very special franchise, and I can't believe that it took me this long to watch them.
Yeah, that franchise is like the definition of comfort food for me. Getting Keanu Reeves to do anything that's action related, that's just comfort food.
So good.
Yeah, he's a national treasure.
He really is. All right. Uh, I'll do some quick shout outs. Um, one that I already mentioned that I watched for the first time very recently, Phantom Thread. I do think that's gonna end up being a movie that I remember more than a lot of the movies I watched this year. And it might be one of the reasons why might be because this might be my favorite PTA movie so far.
Oh wow.
Um, and I say that because I'm very, like I said, hot and cold with PTA movies. I actually really like Licorice Pizza, for example. But like Boogie Nights didn't really hit as well for me. And it kind of just goes back and forth as I go through his filmography. So it's always a fun time, but that movie was just incredibly captured. I found it personally really funny. I don't I know this is like maybe not necessarily the most forward and straight take. Um have you seen this movie, Tiffany? Or have you heard of this movie?
No.
Okay. Matt, how would you explain this movie?
Um, so it basically follows a seamstress. He's like a genius. He makes dresses for a living.
Yeah.
But he basically lives with the people that wear his dresses. Um, and he's kind of a dick at the very end of it. Like,
Huge
he
dick.
just kind of
Huge dick.
he's he's very demeaning to the people that wear his dresses. But they kind of like stick around because he's a genius. Like, he's a absolute genius with the needle. Um, I don't know. I guess that's the
Okay.
general premise. It
Yeah, and
I
then,
feel
like,
like
beyond
I
that, he, like, develops a relationship with one of these
that's
people,
right.
right? And, and it's like the dynamic of this relationship is the centerpiece of the story. And in general, like all his life, he's always just been respected because of how smart and incredibly talented he is. But this is like the first example of a relationship that he's had where she's willing to push back, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
then madness ensues, basically, is the best way I can explain it. But I just thought it was a really fun experience, something that I had never seen before. And it's way funnier than I was expecting. So that's why I say, like I mentioned specifically how funny I thought it was because I really wasn't expecting it to be. Um, but the performances were top notch. A couple others that come out that stood out. Obviously, K-pop Demon Hunters I already mentioned. That was for sure one of the top experiences of 2025 for me. Uh, I'm gonna also shout out another foreign movie because when I think of the Virginia Film Festival, to me, like the first movie that comes to mind is Sentimental Value. I really enjoyed that movie.
Nice.
Um, Another movie that came out in 2025 that I really, really love. I really am glad that you already mentioned Hamnet, so that I don't need to talk about that one. That's the other movie, obviously, that comes to mind when I think of that film festival for sure. Um, and then I wanted to call out one more that really surprised me this year. And
Okay.
this is probably going to be like the hottest take of the pod potentially, even though you thought you had a hot take earlier, Tiffany. Um, I really, really enjoyed Joker 2. All right.
Oh,
Let me just
Oh,
say
wow.
it.
fully ado.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. To me, this was the biggest surprise of the year, and I really can't wait to watch it again. Uh, this is a movie that was a sequel of the initial Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, and honestly, I think I'm becoming just more aware of the fact that I'm just a Joaquin Phoenix stan. Like he's so incredible in everything he's in my opinion. Eddington, another great movie. But this movie, like, I can't believe how negative the reception is. But also, I get it because of how controversial some of the topics are and like the way that some of the scenes play out. I can definitely see how it turns a lot of people off, and it's a musical. I think that probably has something to do with it as well. I would really be interested in talking to you more about this, Matt, when you do eventually watch it, because I assume you haven't watched it yet, right? Because I remember seeing it was
No,
on
I
your
haven't.
watch list.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
but I remember you really liking the first movie, right?
Yeah, I love the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm
give it a
definitely I
chance
think
sometime.
I got a little bit cooled off just based on the
Yeah.
reception. Not
Yeah.
enough to not watch it. But I was like, well, I can wait this out. But yeah, knowing that you really liked it and that it's an honorable mention bumps it up in my mind because I think it just got added to like HBO Max or something. So
It is on
this might be the
Max.
time to go for it. Eddington is another one of those movies where different circumstances we actually bought tickets to go see Eddington, then we
Oh.
couldn't actually go see it.
Oh no. Yeah, yeah.
So definitely gonna watch that at some point because I've heard a lot of mixed emotions with that movie. So I can't
Mhm.
wait to hear all about it.
Yeah, I definitely highly recommend both of them. Eddington, very much so on the more controversial side of the political spectrum. So you really need to be like coming in prepared for that if you even want to watch it at all. But that is
Yeah.
definitely not something that I recommend to most people if that's
Yeah.
not something that they're into. But if that's
Yeah.
something that you're comfortable with, definitely recommend it as well.
I feel like it's part of the territory. Like it's a COVID movie, which
Yeah.
unfortunately is a political statement even in its own. So
Yeah.
I'm still interested. I think Ari Aster just like loves poking the bear. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah, he's
So we'll see.
quickly becoming one of my favorite directors. But if you enjoyed One Battle After Another, like obviously you're not too worried about being too
Yeah.
political, obviously.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Well, that's a
What a list.
healthy episode. Love it. A lot of great things to see. I definitely just love talking about movies with you guys. Really great honorable mentions. And honestly, my last honorable mention is Last Time I Seen the Sun, which is the song that I was thinking of. I finally was able to get into to my Spotify and find it. But there's that. This has been a great talk, guys. A lot of great movies this year. Next year, who knows? Might be even better. So stick around and find out. Shout out to Grandmaster Doug for offering us all our tunes. Like, subscribe, do all those things. And we will see you next year. Bye.
Oh, what's a Billy?
Well, I'm not a fake fan like you,